and Suede reunion somewhere in the next 10, 20, like the Police, 30 years on?
Who knows? Who knows?
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, reunions are always really sad, aren't they? So I don't know. Do you know what I mean? If you could sort of reform a band without it coming across as really sad, then maybe I would. But that's a big if.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see then. The album cover. Where is it?
It's a picture taken by Wolfgang Tillmans of me at home in my studio.
Any specific reason why you chose this album cover? Just you?
Well, I like the kind of the simplicity of it and the kind of quite kind of, you know, I thought that the you know, it reflected something about the songs, the intimacy of the songs, and the kind of unpretentiousness of it all. You know, the record's supposed to be quite an unpretentious record, and I thought the cover was quite simple, almost like a snapshot.
And then, one last question. Your songwriting, well, you've been writing songs now for almost 20 years, I think. Did it change for you a lot, or is it still, the songwriting process is still the same, or did it change?
I think it's still essentially the same, yeah. It doesn't matter really what happens with technology and whatever. It's still, you're still sitting there with your guitar and relying on your inspiration and invention to write a song. Of course, you know, technically I've kind of become a better guitar player, and on this record there's a couple of songs where I wrote the guitar parts, you know, something like Scorpio Rising, I wrote all the melodic parts to it and stuff like that. And that's probably what I wouldn't have done a few years ago. But, you know, essentially it's the same thing. It's about being inspired, it's about kind of, you know, being engaged with life, and it's about having something to say.
And do you always start then with a guitar, or do you start with a singing line, with a lyric, or?
It can come from different directions, you know. I've often written songs around just a word or a phrase, and then, you know, I'll write. You know, most of these songs were written as, you know, written with a friend of mine, co-written with a guy, and he presents sort of like a sketch demo, and I just decide the kind of vocal melody it needed and the kind of song and the kind of lyrics it needed. So there's lots of different ways it can come about.
Okay, so it didn't change. It's still the same. The essence of the songwriting.
I think its essence, it's always the same, because, you know, music is music. Maybe it's evolved, and I think that I've got better at kind of getting to the core of what I want to say, you know. But it's still about inspiration. You know, you can't write a song if you're not inspired.
And how do you, keep inspired?
You keep inspired by kind of keeping interested in life and not becoming jaded about life, and keeping your mind healthy. You know, it's all about, for me, it's about, you know, the way to keep inspired is reading. It's kind of like thinking. It's looking at art. It's, you know, keeping your mind working. It's not letting your mind close down and become slow and vegetative and repetitive. It's about, you know, it's about keeping it healthy.
Is it hard to keep reading and to keep?
No, not really. It's something that, you know, it's part of a lifestyle sort of thing. If you know, I kind of enjoy keeping my brain healthy. I went through a period where I was quite unhealthy, and I kind of came out of that, and I feel much happier now.
And when was that period?
Probably sometime back in the 90s.
And so when did you find out, well, I have to get out of it?
Very recently. I think that's the last one.
Yeah.
Knock knock.
Knock knock, knocking on heaven's door.